2 Samuel 4, 1 through 3. And when Saul's son heard that Abner was dead in Hebron, his hands were feeble, and all the Philistines were troubled. All the Israelites were troubled. The Israelites. So what this was is the Israelites were troubled because some of them were seeing that the fact that Abner being killed would just cause the civil war to break out with them again. They'd be continuing the fighting. They didn't understand God was using all this and to make peace. But they also knew that, and Saul's son may have not heard the whole story, but him being in line for the throne of Saul's, he may have feared, okay, David's going to come have me done away with so I don't threaten his throne, which completely goes against David's character, and he made no attempt to do this. But this would have been a fear. Most kings, anybody that threatened their throne, even to some degree, even their own children, they have put to death. We see the reaction to Herod in the New Testament, how he just kills a bunch of babies in the area so his throne's protected. So Saul's son, whose name is Ishboth, is concerned about his own life, about losing it because of this. And they're also all concerned about war breaking out again. Which the opposite, actually, God allows to happen. And David's made king of not only Judah, but all of Israel now. And also, when it refers to Israelites in this verse, it's probably exempting Judah, because Judah is completely behind David. So I say they trusted God and trusted David. So this is probably the remainder of the tribes, kind of like the division once the kingdoms are divided, Israel and then Judah. So the Israelites here most likely is just referring to the other. Verse 2. And Saul's son had two men that were captains of bands. The name of one was Baanah, and the name of the other was Rechab, sons of Rimmon, a Beerite, sons of the children of Benjamin. For Beerath also was reckoned to Benjamin. So this meant there was like intermarriage, because Beerath, I think, goes back to, I know Balaam was son of Beor. So then it's probably the same family. Possibly. But either way, these are outsiders. We see intermarriage here because they're Benjaminites as well. Which was one of the things that they were not supposed to do. Because oftentimes, it's the same. For us as Christians, it's not marrying somebody who's of the world. We marry somebody equally equally yoked. This was their way, because those who were not of Israel, served pagan gods, and marrying them and doing this would bring in the pagan gods. Although with many cultures of that time, it was accepted because it was seen as peace treaties. And most cultures had more than one god anyway, so it wasn't a big deal for them. It just made peace, and oftentimes it was seen, because we see when in Egypt, when they're only putting death to the males. Egypt. And the idea of this was because they were going to marry the women and intermingle and have them about that way at the whole time too. So this was often a way of doing this, but God forbid Israel from doing this because of they didn't need that pagan stuff and all that in their life. They needed to be set apart just because they were alone God's chosen people. But we see time and time again how that happens. So these men here are ones put in charge to watch after Ishboth. So And after Saul being dead, they're still holding to their responsibility. And the next verse explains more why. And Berites fled Gibeath and were sojourners until this day. So pretty much they had to work to live on the land. So how are they working? They're taking care of Ishboth. They're doing their job, and this is how they're upkeeping to stay. Whether it be they're provided houses, food, whatever sense they're getting it from doing this responsibility. And as Christians, we have certain responsibilities that God will bless us above for doing. There's certain things He's going to provide for us regardless. But we have a part to play that He wants us to have us be willing to do. And we're to do that part. And in a way, we're sojourners in this land as well. Because once we come to Christ, we're meant for glory. We're meant to be in that fellowship with Him. And that's why we're kind of like foreign to this world. Because we're a new creature. We're a new creation. We ain't created after this flesh of this world anymore. We're created after His holiness. And so in a way, we're just passers-by in this world, shining His light after we come to Him. So we're just here for now, you know. And that's the way sojourners were. They were just in the area for a time.